I am content creator Sally Estlin and the founder of Empowered Clothing. I empower women over 50 to create a conscious and intentional lifestyle on my show, Finding Your Way with Sally Estlin. Well, hello everyone. Yes, it's Sally Estlin and I am a content creator and a holistically fit specialist. I share authentic and everyday issues for women over 50. So you can learn more about my products and services at empoweredclothing.com.au. So today I'm very excited because we're talking about how to create the life you want, and my featured guest today is Nicole Martin. So before I bring Nick up, I'd just like to introduce her with a few words and a little bit of a story about who she is. So here's a fun fact. Nicole Martin is a PE teacher and health and fitness motivator. But what she says about herself is that she's fit, resilient, determined, and what her friends say about her is that she's amazing, fit, and strong. So Nick was born in Gippsland, Victoria, and she's now living in Glen Iris in Victoria. So Nick loved working in hospitality and did so until her mid-40s. She loved the fast pace and she owned and ran hotels. And it wasn't until her restaurant was forced to close that she had to dig deep and search for what she was meant to do next. She lost everything: the house, cars, kids in private school, and eventually her marriage. But one day she had a light bulb moment and thought she was always wanted to be a PE teacher. So she changed her career at 45 and went to university. Failing wasn't an option, even though the study was tough and doing anatomy and physiology was really challenging. She just knew that as soon as she became a PE teacher, things would be great. She wanted to be able to teach kids how to be fit for life and find a sport for them. So hang on, let me just get the next page. Throughout this time, Nick discovered bodybuilding as a focus, an outlet and something to work towards. It fueled her passion for health and fitness. During this time, though, Nick ruptured her Achilles and was in a boot for many months and endured several operations. However, it didn't stop her from exercising and weekly drove for hours to attend gym classes and training. After finishing studies and working at her first job at a primary school, she got hit by a car crossing a road. Wow. Her life flashed in front of her. Luckily, she was fit as she'd done taekwondo for so many years, and she was also passionate about working out. She broke her shoulder and rotator cuff and was off work for 4 months. But during that time, she would go and train at the gym every day. She did everything one-armed. Wow. So when she returned to the school after 4 months, she ended up losing her job. Wow. And after that, she got injured. After she got injured, her body wasn't symmetrical. So as a bodybuilder, your body has to be symmetrical. It took her virtually a year and a half to be able to push a dumbbell up unassisted. But she did it, and later that year, she went on to win nationals and placed first. Nick will have a go at anything. Often she doesn't know how to do it, but knows she just needs to start doing it, and she'll figure it out later. So it might lead on to something amazing in your life. Well, I can't wait to bring up Nick and have a chat to this amazing chick. So come on in and welcome. Hi, Nick.
Sal.
Welcome to Finding Your Way. So, wow, what a bit of a life story you've had so far. Do you want to talk a bit about that?
There's been a few challenges, a few curveballs. Things haven't quite often gone my way, but there's always a positive. And I just change a perceived negative into a perceived positive, and
Yeah,
just keep going.
absolutely. I mean, just starting out, in your mid-40s, going back to uni after, everything going sort of sour with the business, like that must have been pretty challenging, or, having that light bulb moment as you're driving along in the car and go, you know what, I want to be a PE teacher. You're never too old to give things a go, right?
Well, that's the thing. Like, I always wanted to be a PE teacher, and the other job I always wanted to do was actually work for the airline. So fortunately, I've had both my dreams come true. But both my girls were very young, and my ex-husband at that time was fly in, fly out. So 28 days away, 7 days back. And I was living in Gippsland and coming to university down in Melbourne. So my very disabled mum would travel down to Sale every Sunday night, come and look after my girls till Wednesday. And I would go to uni. I was meant to be at uni for 5 days a week, but could only do 3 at that stage. And I was doing anatomy and failing miserably at anatomy.
Tough one.
Well, I hadn't even done biology at school, so I hadn't done science for 28 years, and I had no idea at all how to pass it. And then went to my lecturer who was in charge of my PE course, and so I went and got a tutor. Best thing I ever did. So I was getting 5 and 13%, failing terribly.
Yeah.
Went and got a tutor. She literally spoon fed me. She told me exactly what to learn, what to focus on, where my marks would be. and I just failing wasn't an option. So
Mm.
I moved my family back down in, when was it? Oh, late March, early April of 2012. Because I had to be at uni 5 days a week.
Mm.
So, and my ex-husband was up in Queensland, so it didn't matter technically where we lived. And passed with my Bachelor of Applied Science in PE and Health.
I love it. Now, talk to me how fitness has changed your life. How, because you wanted to be a PE teacher, and then you got your focus with the bodybuilding, and it's helped you get through a lot of stuff.
Well, the thing is with fitness, it's not just physically, it's mentally, and it's
Mhm.
a really great coping mechanism as such. So training with a buddy, with your best friend, workshopping life, and just when things are going wrong, I do some of my best sets when.
You get your PBs, don't you? I was training some clients this morning, and it's some women in their 50s, and we were just saying, no matter what's going on in your life, fitness, the feel good endorphins, but it's the community, it's the workshopping with like-minded people as well when you're doing it. And I mean, you've had some real doozies thrown at you, not only doing your Achilles, but also getting hit by a car. Like, do you want to talk through what was going on at that stage for both?
Yeah, so when I actually got hit by the car, it was Sunday morning, and I was off to Body Combat 9 o'clock. I used to call that church on a Sunday morning.
Yeah, yeah.
Walking across the road, and normally I would run across the road on my phone and chat or texting, whatever. And that particular day, I went, no, Nick, you've got to stand there and let's do it properly. As I was crossing the road, I noticed too long, well, not long enough really, that he wasn't actually going to stop for me. I was on the green man doing everything correct, and within he was probably only about 1.5 meters, 2 meters at the most away from me, I realized he wasn't going to stop. So then I used my taekwondo skills and tried to leap over the bonnet, and then ended up on the tram tracks on my left side. So I broke my shoulder, my rotator cuff, and then I don't know how I didn't break my hip, but my main focus was just trying to keep my head off as when things are happening, your life slows down and it's in slow motion.
Mm.
And all I could think of was my girls, and then within a minute or so, I had a doctor assisting me, because Good Life, saw what happened, and then I had the ambulance arrive, and off to hospital I went.
Yeah, I
But,
mean, wow, and throughout that time, though, you were doing your bodybuilding, and so I think you said you had 4 months off, and you
mm,
kept training one-armed. And then you just kept pushing through, so that's talk about h h how you dug deep and how it got you through and how exercise helped that.
well, exercise was my one thing I could control.
Mm,
I couldn't control me not having a job, me and everything else that was going on in my life. So
mm.
the one thing that made me happy and that I could still go and do was turn up to the gym every day, and the Smith machine was my best friend. So I could do everything from squatting to one arm, dead rows, deadlifts. It didn't matter. The Smith machine, I could do it all in. And I just went, you know what? Well, I can't do that, but let's just keep doing and I just keep modifying exercises. So I think it made me a lot better PE teacher for it.
Mm.
Because if a child comes up to me and says I can't actually do something, I can modify it every which way. So it was a hard time of my life, but it was also a great time of life, that when I actually did get on stage that year, and then my posing instructor said, "Why are you actually doing this, Nick?" Because I couldn't raise my hand above my head until the chip. I was a Monday before, and I was competing on the Saturday, and I said, because A, I can't give in, and B, I'm winning by just getting on the stage. And
Mm.
that was my whole focus, is just to focus on that, and to do it the best I could on the day, which is
So,
great.
how long after you got hit by a car were you up on stage competing?
I got hit in July, and I was up competing. Let me see, it was September.
Wow, that's incredible. Like, that is incredible. Wow, that's talk about digging deep. Then that leads actually into the empowerment share that you brought along with you today, which is about, hang on, let me bring it up. Never give in as the universe has your back. Be tough and resilient as there's always a positive. It's just harder some days to find it. You've also said be gentle to yourself and life's too short. Be happy and follow your passion. Everything else will come. Don't stress about the little things, rather concentrate on what you want in life and being a good person. Do you want to talk a little bit more about that?
Well, the thing is, I always knew I would turn my car accident into a positive,
Mm,
and I certainly did. I just knew that something positive would come out of it, and I ended up with my apartment, which was an amazing positive. Because I always promised my girls I'd put a roof over their head, basically. Because obviously I walked out with nothing. Um, so that was my thing. So there always is a positive. It's just you need to spin it, and some days I've got to spin the hell out of it. Other days not so much, but you can either continue and don't get me wrong. Some days I throw myself a great pity party, but 99% of the times I don't, and I just think, well, what is the positive? What's the lesson? What am I learning here? And how can I change it? And that's the whole thing. And being tough and resilient. I mean, some days you just don't want to be tough and resilient.
yeah.
But you've just got to put on your big girl undies and keep going. And also too, I had two young impressionable girls that, I had to stand up and show them what I could do, and go, well, mum can do this. I'm all over it, and let's just keep going.
Yeah, clearly you're epitomizing the line that there's no such word as can't. Talk to me about, never gonna give in as the universe has your back. So what are your beliefs there? Because that's right up my alley.
Yeah, well, the thing is too. Sometimes you fail, and I've failed miserably at times. And then I think, well, what's the lesson in this? I'm
Mm,
obviously learning a lesson.
yeah.
And sometimes your best lessons in life is when you do fail. And and
Mhm.
then I always think to myself, well, that wasn't meant for me, and there's something better, and the universe
Yeah,
does have my back.
yeah.
And I go, well, obviously you would like to go a straight line, but not quite often you're zigzagging. So to get from point A to B, you might need to go to D, F, and Z.
Yeah.
So, and I just believe that the right thing will happen.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there is a silver lining in every experience, every challenge, everything perceived negative. There's always positives to be taken out of it. And as you said before, it's not exercise, not just for physical, it's for your mind, right? For your mindset, keeping that healthy and fit as well. Because once again, that's a muscle that needs to be worked on. Being positive and being grateful, and you of all people could be the Debbie Downer and just say, woe is me, because so much has happened to you, getting hit by a car and all these other things and losing your job. But rather than that, you've just brushed yourself off, got up and pushed on with it. And I also like the line that you said, be gentle to yourself because life's too short, and just, follow your passions and everything else will fall into place. And don't stress about the little things, because life is too short and we can get caught up on, the stuff right in front of us, and become a Debbie Downer and go, oh, woe is me, oh, it's not fair, and this is happening to me. But you seem to be looking always at the bigger picture and being driven by that.
Well, the thing is too, life is not going to be fair. And if you live for, say, 85 years, you're not going to have 85 good years. But
So true.
things are going to happen. But quite often we're our biggest critic.
Hmm.
And then sometimes you've got to look back at, like I was looking back at my year last year, which was the most amazing, one of the most amazing years of my life, where I did so many things, and you are your biggest critic sometime, and you go, well, hang on a moment, what's, not that I'm saying you should always say, oh, pat yourself on the back if you haven't done a good job. That's not what I'm saying at all. But what I'm saying is that sometimes we're far too hard on ourselves, and instead of going, well, look, I've done a really good job on this, and I tried my hardest, and I did my best.
Mm,
And some days that's great, and some days it's just good that you actually got up and had a go, and
mm,
being, saying to yourself, well, you know what, that's fantastic, and tomorrow's another day, and let's just keep going, and
mm.
see where it leads us,
Yeah.
because you never know where it's going to lead you either.
Exactly. Such a positive attitude. It just really fuels your days and makes the days more meaningful and more powerful as well. And so, do you think there was a message from the universe in the accidents that you have? Because they were pretty extreme.
Just a little bit. I think my life had to change. It really did. It was just at a point where I was at crossroads, and I think I hit that crossroad, literally.
Literally.
And it was time for me to step up and be better. So I think that was, my obviously, like I was training far too many hours, and that's cool because I used to train like most days 2 to 4 hours. Because it just took my mind off other things.
Yeah.
And I think that was probably my message, that I needed to probably slow down a bit. And I was meant to go a different path, and being a PE teacher has been the most rewarding, passionate. I absolutely love it. And being in charge of, because I do primary school, being in charge of these young students, and hopefully that they'll learn, quite a few lessons from me, and there's no such word as can't. And I'm always saying to the kids, you don't have to be the smartest person in the room, but you have to work the hardest. And, it's all these things. I'll do a beep test with the kids, and I tell them to go to their happy place and to think of their favorite ice cream or food or holiday or whatever it is. And I push them.
Yeah.
And I'm always trying to teach them to believe in themselves. Well, if they can take that away from their primary school years from me, and find a physical activity that they can be participating in for life, I've done my job.
Yeah, yeah. I love it, because this show is about finding your way, and it's about having conversations with empowering people, but empowering people who also are very consciously aware and consciously awake. So I love how you have got this higher connection with the universe, and this trust and belief, and knowing that universe has got your back, or it's sending you messages when you need to stop and listen, like you were saying, perhaps to slow down because you were doing too much. And it was telling you in a big way. That was a big message. But you got it. Do you know what I mean? Like, you took note and you amended your life and lifestyle in terms with that, or in line with that.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I mean, sometimes you get a little tap on your head, and then if the tap doesn't work, you get a slap. And if the slap doesn't work, you get a brick. And
Punch
if,
in the face.
and if the brick doesn't work, you get a car. So it'll just keep escalating. And sometimes you've just got to sit back, and quite often I need some peace to just really think about, well, hang on, what am I meant to be doing? Where am I meant to be going? I don't need all the answers today. I just need to believe that I am on the right path, and the answers will come eventually. You just need to know the what, and the how will come.
Choose the what and allow the how to happen. We're so on the same page, baby.
That's it.
So that leads into your expert tip that you've brought along today. Your finding your way expert tip. Always say yes to an opportunity and work out how to do it later. Life has taught you never to give up, never to give in. Just focus, push through, and you can do it. Because what you tell yourself and everyone else is you are enough, and everything you want to do in life is within you. No matter what you want to do, you don't have to be naturally gifted. You just have to work hard, believe that you can get there. So yeah, that's what you were talking about before. It's a really good tip. Just say yes and work it out later.
Well, that's the thing. Like, that's one of my favourite quotes, and it's from Sir Richard Branson, who I really, really like.
I love him so much. Now you're working at Virgin.
Well, that's the thing. When I applied for the position, I didn't know how I was actually going to do it, because I work full time being a PE teacher. And then I went and got into the interview, and I went to the interview, and they said to us on that particular day, because it was meant to be part-time work, and then they said, we're going to offer casual today. And I went, and all my bells were ringing. And so we did a group interview, and then we did a one-on-one interview. And then the lady who was actually interviewing me, she said, oh, Nick, I'm reading through your resume, and you've done a lot here. How are you actually going to do this? And I said, well, I teach PE during the week. I'm available on school holidays and weekends when you're busy. And I'm still trying to find balance in my life. Because balance is a little bit.
What to say? You're a go-getter and had the message slow down, but yeah, as long as there's balance, right?
That's it. And I'm still working on balance, but that's okay. I'm aware of it, so that's great. And I absolutely love the job. So it's amazing working with the general public, and to see the airline industry being shut down and then to come back from it and to work with such amazing people, it's just great, and I love what I do. So I always say that I get to play with the little kids during the week and the big kids on the weekends.
Well, that's balance for you. There you
It is.
go.
So it's really good.
Oh,
But
yeah.
the thing is, too, you can push through anything. It is just, it is a mindset. You need to just believe in yourself. And I was never good at school. Like, the only thing I liked at school was PE. I'll be very honest about that. And then I ended up passing anatomy, which is the same anatomy that the physios and the chiros do. That wasn't through. That was just sheer determination to
Yeah.
get through that. And failing at that wasn't an option. And I worked out how to actually do it. So by getting a tutor, and this is what I'm trying to say to especially the kids that I teach, that you don't have to be naturally gifted at anything. You just sometimes it's just asking the right people and surrounding yourself with people of like-mindedness and
Yeah.
positive people and people that get up and go and move and just go and do what they want to do in life, and that's who I surround myself with. It's I can't deal with negativity.
Yeah.
It just I
It's
just
bad
can't.
energy, right? It's just
It,
so draining, and it's just
it's a really bad energy and I'm not saying I'm perfect, I'm far from it, but people that we honestly we focus on the wrong things a lot of the times, and instead of focusing on what brings us joy and what makes us happy, we focus on the new car or the new handbag or whatever that is, and that's not what makes us happy.
Mm. Oh, as I always say, we're all perfectly imperfect, and we're all a work in progress. But
That's it.
we're learning from all of our challenges, and taking the positives out of everything, or finding the silver lining out of every experience that we come across in life, for sure. So today is all about how to create the life you want, which links in very much to the sacral chakra, which is this orange top, and it's all about because we've got this clothing line, Empowered Clothing, so it's like dressing with intent. It's dressing with the energy around what you're choosing to do. So today is about creating the life that you want, which is links into the sacral chakra. Now the sacral chakra is it's associated with creativity. What are you creating? It's also about your sexuality, your pleasure and emotional balance again, Nick. And so the tops that we've got, the orange ones. Do you like the color orange?
Love the color orange.
Yeah,
You're right, it's great.
yeah, these are so we've got the chakra range of clothing in the racerback and the long sleeve. And in the short sleeve racerback one, we have the intention of I choose to create. And it's bringing balance and fun and passion into your days, abundance on all different levels. Um, and what was I going to say? And then the long sleeve ones are creating balance, fun, and abundance, because abundance isn't just about money. It's about abundance on all levels, abundance of happiness, abundance of friends, abundance of, just joy in your life. And balance is really important, creating balance in your life. And that's what we're talking about. That was part of the message that you had, was to slow down a little bit. And now you're balancing the little kids with the big kids, which is cool. And, just having more fun in your life as well, because it's so important to have fun. Hey, so important to have fun. Let me share some of the tops with you here.
Sure.
So we've got so there's the long sleeve one, creating balance, fun, and abundance, and short sleeve one. Each of the tops come with a little healing crystal, because where your attention goes, your energy flows. So, that's right. What are you focusing on? Do you want to be focused on the negatives or focus on the positives? So I'm a touchy-feely person. So with this, it's the carnelian crystal, which is in a heart shape, and it goes into a little pocket on the top. But it's about focusing. What am I choosing to create, and hanging on to something, and feeling it and going, yeah, this is what I'm choosing to bring into my life. I'm choosing more balance in my life. It's all been too crazy, or I'm choosing to create more happiness or more love, more wealth, whatever it is. And so I've got these amazing candles. So do you ever use the energy sprays at all?
I do.
Yeah, this
They're
one is
beautiful.
the creation one. I'll put it up on the screen. So these are super powerful way to work with your energy, to call in, amplify the energy that you're choosing to call in. So this is I'll push this one up, the creation spray. But this is about when you're doing stuff, can you imagine getting dressed and more powerfully focusing on what it is that you're choosing to bring in? So, you epitomize someone that just knows how to get on with something, rather than just, fail fast, you brush yourself off, you get up and you keep going. And then if you're amplifying that with where your attention is, if I'm dressing more powerfully into that energy, like it's really going to amplify the intention of what you're choosing to do in your days or your weeks or in your life.
That's fantastic. Well, it's all about the mindset and what you choose to do. So, no, that sounds amazing. Really great.
Yeah, I'm just got a few of the tops up here. So,
Mm.
it's interesting how colors are so powerful. Everything is energy, right? And so color has energy, and then chakras are just amplifying that because you're working with the energy centers within your body. And let's find a colorful one. And this is the range of all of them. Oh, and there you are, one of my models. Looking very cool there. Let me just bring that up on the screen a bit more. But, this is all about linking in where you can get dressed more powerfully for the day ahead. Because every day you open up your wardrobe and you've got to put something on. And you think, well, what am I choosing to do today? Because you want to dress to impress, right? And to look the part. But look at all these beautiful colors. And there you are in the purple and the pink. Very cool. Yeah, because I know when I'm wanting to get into a certain mindset, or I call in that energy, right? And so, like, I use my crystals, but I also dress with the color. So, like, you're wearing pink today. So, that's bringing in more love for yourself, love from others, accepting more love in, but particularly for yourself. And with the orange, I'm creating. What am I choosing to create? And where am I going to, what intention am I wanting to amplify or get more assistance with? So, yeah, this is what it's all about as well. So, also, we use journaling as well for, have you? Oh, you've done some journaling before, haven't you?
I have, like, at the start of this year, I certainly wrote down all my goals and everything that I wanted to achieve. I certainly written down where I want to go, what I want to do, and I make myself a list every day, and I tick that list off as I do everything. So
Yeah, yeah.
you've really got to write it down, and it's a lot more powerful if you write it down.
Absolutely. You bring it up and out. So energetically, you're taking it from outside, you're giving it more airplay. So you're giving it more substance, if you like. So journaling is a really strong way to help you get through stuff, but also to help you plan and achieve things. So, as you said, you set your goals, did all that sort of thing, and this is the perfect time of the year to start doing that. Is planning your year ahead and putting some goals and then some action steps next to it. Nothing too overwhelming, just some
Mm.
small, simple action steps. Yeah, for sure.
No, it sounds fantastic, because if you make it too complicated, you'll never do it. It
Yeah,
just
yeah,
it won't happen. So if it's just little, like you said, little simple steps, and you just tick them off, whether it's
mm,
daily, weekly, monthly, yearly, and you might need to add steps, you might need to delete steps, and for me it works well. And then on today I was studying my vision board as well. So
oh, good.
I was getting into that before, so I was making that all colourful, and I want to put that up on my wall as well, so I can visualize what I want to do.
Oh, fantastic! Because I was decluttering over the weekend and found my vision board from the year before, and it was so rewarding to see what you had actually achieved as well. Because that's going to inspire and motivate you to keep going when you look at what you have accomplished. And what was I going to say? Oh, yeah. So with this carnelian, I don't think I went through the properties of this crystal, because this one's all about your physical health and your emotional balance. Again, balance has been a big word today that's been coming through. And this, the carnelian awakens and stimulates creative energy. It enhances your passion and your sexuality. And who doesn't want that? Boosts your motivation,
I'll
endurance.
sign up for that.
Yeah, I think the sacral. Do you know where it's located? It's just below your belly button. So just where you,
Okay.
yeah, it's just in there
Hmm.
below, and that's where you just can really tune in. Our bottom chakras, like if we can just connect in with those, they're clearing up a lot of blocks that can get in our way as we're moving through life. So yeah, so today, as I said before, is all about how to create the life that you want. So have you got any um, final little words of wisdom or tips for people before we sort of close off?
I think you just got to do what makes you happy. You find your
Mm,
passion, and
mm,
don't let anyone put you down. Just believe you've got everything that you want in your life in yourself, because you've got to love yourself before you can love anyone else, and then just move 100 miles forward.
Yeah.
And be gentle. Be gentle to yourself.
I love
Yeah, you got to fail some days. Some
Yeah,
days.
fail fast. Just get it over and done with, and just keep moving forward, right?
That's it. And don't go blaming anyone else for your failures.
Yeah.
Look at yourself and go, all right, well, what part of that did I play in that? And just go, all right, deal with it, and then just move on and move to the next thing. And there's nothing that you can't do in this life ever.
Absolutely.
And there's no dream too big.
Yeah. I think this year is very much a year about ownership and responsibility. So own your stuff, right? Take it on board and go, yep, whatever, and be responsible, but move on. Just keep moving. It's when we stop, we get drawn back into the past. Just be in the moment and keep moving forward.
That's it. That horrible rear revision mirror.
That's
not a good thing.
Yeah. If you're too busy looking in the rear view mirror, you're just going to crash because you can't see what's ahead of you.
No, exactly. And you've got to live in the moment.
Yeah, absolutely.
Life is really beautiful.
So you have definitely epitomised someone who has created the life of your dreams, and you've done it no matter what, particularly with some really hard challenges, but you've overcome all of them and done them, at a later stage of in your life. So, here's to you, Nickers. So
thank you.
Thank you so much for coming on as a guest today on Finding Your Way. Really, really appreciated you coming on and having the conversations, and for sharing part of your journey and your experience and your wisdom of what's been able to get you through, because it really helps and inspires and motivates other people as well. Because as you said, there's no such word as can't.
Never.
It's just getting this stuff right, hey?
That's it. You got to just tune into the brain.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you for coming on. We look forward to chatting with you again down the track. I'm just going to drop you down into the green room, and we'll just finish off.
Sounds great. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Nick. See ya.
Bye.
I'll just drop you down. Well, thanks everyone for joining us today. You can join me for another episode of Finding Your Way with Sally Estlin next Wednesday at 3 p.m. Pacific time and Thursday at 10 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. So that was so wonderful having Nick come and join us. She's a really inspirational person with all the things that have gone on in her life and how she found fitness as a real tool to help her get through, and having that passion and focus. I think it's helped me, and I know it's helped a lot of other people for so many reasons, but particularly around the mindset. So with that, look forward to catching everybody next week. And in the meantime, just like and follow us and share it with your friends. So with that, I'll let you all go, and I'll just bring up my closing little video. Okay, here we go. Thank you for joining me today. You can learn more about me, my empowered clothing, products and services at empoweredclothing.com.au. Make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Sally Estlin, the Holistically Fit Specialist.